What is up, YouTube?
What's up?
My Cowboys family, bringing you guys the game-changing, game-saving, no card. Same one they used in the game, guys. Just
live
kidding.
from the game.
Give us just a second while we check our audio here, guys.
Go Cowboys!
So, yeah, this game was definitely...
intense.
Record-setting, I would say, in a way, because I don't think we've seen a game that intense before. That crazy. So,
there have been some, but
Patriot
not
fan,
many.
thanks for joining us here. What's up? Give us just a second here. All right, so audio is good, guys. We're going to go ahead and jump right to the news. But real quick, somebody wants to say hello real quick. So.
Dad. It's Lil G. He's feeling a lot better.
So, yeah, guys, we're not letting him talk into the mic because even though he's feeling better, still don't want to get anyone else sick or contagious. So, but he is very happy that the Cowboys won, right? So, and, you know, happy he's feeling better and ready to go. So, Lil G, say bye and
go Cowboys.
Go Cowboys, right? Go ahead. Say it here. Say it.
Go Cowboys.
Yeah.
There you go. All right, kiddo.
Get some good rest.
All right, guys, so he is off to play. We are here to talk about some of the playing. So real quick, Lance Davis, Christopher Clayton, thanks for joining us. Time to feed Zeke. So let's start off with that really quick, just because there's not too many crazy updates on Zeke. He spent the last 6 weeks at a private resort in Cabo where I think it's his manager. Yeah. Right? His manager owns the building. He stayed there, very isolated, where he was just trimming down, you know, slimming up, bulking up, and
chest a lot bigger, stronger, faster.
Found out an interesting tidbit that he was actually dealing with a little bit of a wrist injury, which is why he wasn't able to bulk up as much before.
That was when he was a rookie.
So now he had a lot of time to really focus on doing that, and he did, and you know, kind of got some advice as well from some other professional sports players that maybe have gone through some slightly public scandals, things like that, just kind of helping him keep his head in the game, I guess. Either way, guys, Zeke just came back ready to go, and Jason Garrett just told him one thing today when he came in for meetings at the Star. Time to get to work.
And it was a pit stop. You know, the word is that Jason Garrett basically just kind of just talked him through, not really what you did wrong or, you know, we're reprimanding you, you know, make sure you behave from here on out.
Time to get back to work.
Get back on schedule, get the schedule down, what's the plan, and get him right back in the mode.
Yeah, start to, you know,
beast mode.
Continue to work him back into practice. So, Cesar Duarte, thanks for joining us. And Texas Spurs, Cowboys, Astro, how about them Cowboys? That's right, guys. If you are just joining us here, make sure to hit like on the stream. It does help us out. Make sure to hit subscribe if you haven't already. Oh, we got Santa Claus. SCN Network, thanks for joining us here. Abhishek, thanks for joining us. He's hungry. Feed him. Yes, I think I'm hungry to see Zeke too, guys. He looked like he is ready.
He's ready.
And in need of a haircut, ready to be on the field.
And guys, just so you know, as well, all that other stuff, the Super Chat leaderboard, guys, we had another donation by Cowboys Abroad. That's
right. He pulled a Jeff Heath, guys, donated $38 to the channel.
Yeah, he had no problem. He announced that on the chat. He went through Patreon, so if you look below, there's a way you can donate through there. But guys, you can do it through the Super Chat as well, which we just got a couple days ago, and it was a big hit yesterday. Leaderboard up above, and you can look in the description of what what the deal is with the leaderboard, and the winner gets down here. Any kind of information you want about your site, any advertising, whatever, for a week. Since we're 1,000 plus, guys, so thank you all for helping us to get to that point.
That's right.
And then all the donations going to go. Most of the donations are going to go to this channel again, guys. So, thanks a lot. Raptor
Charged, Tomboy69, thanks for joining us here. Let's go ahead and jump into.
You said about Zeke, so, I mean, that's an important thing. As far as that's concerned, I mean, you pretty much covered
pretty much
all the bases.
Guys. Again, they're just going to start, reworking him back into practice, of course.
Yeah, he'll be back Wednesday. Number one, guys. So in order to replace him, we have to take a roster spot. It has to be used up. Our former, basically, he was a camp. He's a practice body. We pulled him up from the practice squad. Trey Williams. He officially has now been released.
All right.
He has. Here it is. So with Zeke back from suspension, the Cowboys waived him. The thing is this: is that now with Zeke back, we have. We also released another guy, named Aaron Green. He's a running back as well, and Aaron Green is a running back that's on our practice squad. What this is telling us is what the Cowboys seen with Trey Williams we liked, with the 53. And now that he's gone, well, there's 24 hours. Somebody has to sign him. If nobody signs him, similar a la a couple other players like Kellen Moore and other guys that we did this with. 24 hours pass, we can re-sign him tomorrow. So expect Trey Williams to be re-signed to Aaron Green's spot that he was released today from the practice squad as well. So 2 running backs were released, 1 big one added, Zeke the Freak, ready to eat. And again, feed him. He's free now feed him. And again, that's the way it looks like the puzzle of our team is looking right now with Zeke coming back onto the squad. We're going to talk about some injuries in a moment. Just want to give you an update, guys. We're watching the game right now, the Falcons at Tampa Bay. This is partially like a quarter worth of a Dallas, a half of a Dallas game.
So 11 minutes, 53 seconds left in the first quarter, 1st and 10 for Atlanta, and they're
it's 0-0.
On Tampa Bay's 42.
It's 0-0, guys. So that's that's good. It's a win if Tampa Bay can keep it close.
So now Buddy Johnson, thanks for joining us. He said if Atlanta wins, won't it knock out the Cheeseheads? It will, but I think I'd rather have Atlanta lose because Green Bay has had
no
talks.
Contest.
Yeah, Green Bay has had talks of maybe not even playing Aaron Rodgers anymore. Well, again, that's just talk.
The reason they were talking like that was because, and they were talking about that earlier today, they're questioning putting Rodgers back next couple of weeks to finish the season. 2 reasons. The main reason they're saying is because Rodgers is not 100% yet, and maybe they rushed him back. I'm not buying that. The reason is if Atlanta wins, they're out. So then they would have no reason to play for anything. Then that would be the excuse. It wouldn't be because, so you
think if Atlanta loses that he might play this weekend?
If Atlanta loses, he definitely plays this weekend.
All right.
Against the Vikings. Sorry. There's no way to let it go. He already came back. It's a tough Carolina defense. He did pretty well, but he did look human.
Yeah.
He threw like a bunch of interceptions. So I don't expect him to be not necessarily, rust free when he plays next week if he does play against Minnesota.
Yeah, no, and again, that was a tough injury. He had surgery on it as well. I mean, there's a lot that goes into.
The point is, it's going to be a rough game against Minnesota. It could be future injury, future issues if something major happens. The Minnesota game is no fun for Aaron Rodgers in that defense that the Vikings have. So that is a valid reason to not have him play. But at the same time, you're fighting for a playoff spot. You get in. You never know. I don't think they would arrest Rodgers after coming back after this long-awaited time. And I think because he had a bad game against a good defense, it makes it look worse. I believe it's lip service. I believe that everything depends on this game. If Atlanta wins, they will rest Rodgers for the rest of the season. If Atlanta does not win and they lose, you'll see Rodgers play against the Vikings next week. Now, the important thing about this game is that we don't care about the Packers being knocked out because the Packers lost yesterday. In our window, in our what we care about is we don't care about the Green Bay Packers being knocked out. They already are out as far as we're concerned. We have to win out all our games. We win out. Green Bay cannot catch us. They cannot affect our playoff ability to get in. So the Falcons can. So if the Falcons lose, so it keeps the Packers alive. Only keeps them alive because they can still catch the Packers can somehow beat out the Falcons somehow.
LT Metters is an Eagles fan. He said, looks like we're both Tampa fans tonight. I need Green Bay to beat Minnesota so the Eagles get home field. Come on and play Rodgers. So, and then...
Right, so that's a big thing for them. They need Vikings to lose a game before they can clinch it. And they need to keep winning. The Eagles have to keep winning. Now,
Asad Lalani wants to know, in the offseason, do you guys do any sports or just Cowboys offseason football? So we're going to be doing Cowboys offseason stuff. We're going to be doing some other stuff as well, guys. And if there is content that you guys specifically want to see, definitely let us know. We're definitely open to, we're going to be doing some basketball stuff as well. We're definitely going to be doing... again, any kind of Cowboys off-season football stuff,
and definitely
then
all
just
Cowboys
all
stuff.
Sorts of other stuff.
We have flag football stuff with our kids. We might be coaching, in the spring, so that's something to look forward to. Yeah, so that's kind of fun stuff.
Jeff Heath, that's right. How about that? Jason G. How about that fake pump play calling? Something interesting about that, guys.
Not a play call.
Yeah, it wasn't a play call.
I will say this: the coaches allow Chris Jones, our punter, a certain
level of freedom when it comes to deciding if he's going to punt the ball or fake it that way. No one knew up until the second he did it. It was on. Chris Jones made that deciding call. When he saw that hole open up, he right away just decided to take the ball.
And I'm not sure
if
it was done in the huddle before, so maybe the team did know, like the Cowboys,
is this like an always thing,
or was it like just block as normal and Chris Jones decides?
Yeah, because if you look at the Cowboys, guys, they blocked like it was a regular kick, like
they were favoring the hole. I think the hole opened up on its own. And that's where
because again they're naturally trying to avoid hitting the kicker.
But I think it's a ballsy play. It's a ballsy move by the coaches to be able to trust Chris Jones enough.
Well, hey, you know what? And Chris Jones we trust because guys, he proved that he it was just well-timed, well-played, well done all across, by our special teams and Chris Jones himself.
And because of that, that whole situation, that really spurred us on to really play a little better from that point on in the game. It was definitely a revitalizing to get going. Yeah, we really got out there.
And I will say, that second half was not very good. I mean, we went from this, shutting down this team the first half, not allowing any points. We allowed 17 points, and we were, guys, half a yard away from
inches. They said 4 inches, but yeah.
So it's just crazy to think about. Cowboys X Factor, thanks for joining us. Let me see, Frankie G, Billy Murphy, Cowboys X Factor. Let me see. I'm upset. Panthers. Thomas Davis suspended for the last 2 games. So yeah, he was suspended for the last 2 games because of that hit from that last
Devontae Adams game. When he blindsided him in the run back. I personally think
I see him appealing and probably getting only one because, guys, it doesn't make sense that they gave Gronkowski only 1 when he did that hit, and from other hits that we've seen this season that I think were a little bit worse than that one.
Yeah.
Not saying this one doesn't merit a suspension. I guess that's a judgment call.
I mean, I can see it 1 game, but I can't see it being anywhere more than Gronk's. And Gronk's probably should have had 2 games or 3 if you want to give him 2. So
and Frankie G, you never know. As far as the Buccaneers, the reason I'm holding out hope is because it is a divisional team. Because we've seen teams like the Dolphins and Jay Cutler somehow beat the Patriots. We've seen teams like the Jets somehow come back and beat tough teams like the Bills. So the divisional matchups, even with teams that aren't as good, and I do think Jameis Winston is playing, right?
Yes, he's supposed to be playing.
So, I don't know. All those things together, guys, you never know.
I do want to say something now, guys. I'm going to kick off kind of like a timeline of what happened after yesterday's game. We did a go live last night trying to get out some information about the injuries. So I want to talk about that. If you have any questions, put them out there. We'll try to catch them. But if you throw that super chat, we'll see it. We'll definitely get your question then.
Yeah.
And then
Cowboys X Factor, no problem, man. Let me see. Game is not 0-0 now. Let me see.
Under 10 minutes. So listen, guys. Yesterday after the game, we know T. Will was kind of injured, but he seems to be okay. When Des Bryant was doing his interview with Zeke, they said he kept repeating, "The league is in trouble. Zeke is back. The league is in trouble. Zeke is back." And he was saying, as he was saying it onto the bus, he was saying this. Repeat some.
The league is in trouble. Zeke is back. So guys, obviously, feel that phrase deep in your dreams tonight.
Right? Last night as well, Des Bryant said that the impact, he says that the return of Zeke will have an impact, a huge impact. He goes, double me all you want, we're going to rush for 350 yards. Jerry Jones said, I love any game. Of course, I think he's about the little...
Yeah, guys, I got to say, I know you said it before in last night's stream, but if you didn't catch the stream or you can't catch that specific moment, if you look at the replay, especially with the overhead camera, you can pretty clearly see that Dak had that first down. Like, he was over the line by a half a yard. You could see it. I thought it was pretty obvious, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Cowboys fan. I'm saying it because you see the ball cross the first, first down.
So speaking about that, then NFL official, his name is Gene Saratori. And he was the one that actually listed the first game. I think everybody kind of knows this, but he's the first game he's done. It has become a factor because of what's happened in the last 2 times he's reffed a Cowboy game. This was his last. Before this one, it was the Green Bay one 3 years ago, with the catch, the muff catch, which is funny because yesterday the Patriots beat the Steelers on that similar kind of issue. So again, this game now, with the Cowboys and the first down marker, it is. Basically, he says he used the index card to help confirm the first down. It was just a confirmation. It wasn't that he was doing it to make his final decision based on that. He says, this is a quote from him. Didn't use the card to make the final decision. The final decision was made visually. So you can see it over the little hash, the 40 degree, the 40 yard, whatever that yard line was. I think it was a 40. That little white specks of chalk that are on the field is what he was using. And a little bubble of the football could have been over, and he saw enough. He just wanted to confirm it with the card. I think it was more for drama, honestly, guys. I don't like it personally, but
you know what? You know what?
If it was the other way around, I'd be upset about it. But it was more done for theatrics.
Again, there's a reason. You know what? Let's all put our tinfoil hats on for a second. They brought this ref specifically because this is the same ref from that Green Bay no catch game. They brought him back to have him make another controversial call to bring up ratings because people were like, "Oh, these teams aren't going to play too well. It's not going to be a fun game." But guess what, guys? No one can watch that game and tell me that wasn't an exciting game.
So he goes here that the card was used as nothing more than a reaffirmation reaffirmation of what was visually done. My decision was visually done based on the look from the pole, meaning the stick, the marker that you can see there, and you can see it in there, like you said. And by any view you look at it, you know that the 40-yard line was the marker, and the football was over it. And guys, let me make something clear, in my opinion, that not many people have talked about, and I think Dak did talk about it after the game, but it was kind of glossed over. That no matter what the controversy is with this right here, it shouldn't matter, because it would have only cost us a challenge. We would have won it.
Yeah.
All right. So we would have been able to get the challenge, and we would have got the yard. Because I mean, unless by some freakish thing they would have said it was inconclusive, which I think there was multiple angles you can see Dak's arm falling forward over the 40. So it should have been it was a bad spot by the refs in the first place by putting that ball so far back. It should have been halfway over the line at least. So look, this is the way it came out. It's more of a controversy because of the card, but hey, you know what? So be it.
It is what it is, guys. I can tell you right now, though,
we still deserve
Oakland
that
Raider
first
fans
down.
are going to burn all their office supplies. No more index cards in Oakland.
Yes, this makes a great present, guys, for any Cowboy fan out there. So,
on to some other news, guys.
Let me just go back about yesterday's game, yesterday's stuff, and the injuries as well, guys. Well, let's see here. Hold on. Anthony, so listen to this, guys. Here's a stat. Even though Anthony Brown, he's on my ish list right now, he's, unfortunately, this missed interception cost Hitchens an injury that could be for a game or two. It could be, meaning the rest of the season. Supposedly he was okay yesterday. Still not sure, though. We'll talk about that in a minute. But Anthony Brown, Jordan Lewis, and Chidobe Awuzie were targeted a combination of 21 times. And they just gave up 100. They only gave up 109 yards out of those 21 targets. It's not horribly bad for three guys that are either Anthony Brown, who's having a horrible season, and a second-year guy, very young guy, and two younger guys than him. So, by the way, the Falcons did score a touchdown. Yeah. It is now officially 7-0 with under 7 minutes left, 6:54 left in the first quarter.
That's right. Oh, guys, Space Cowboy 17, thanks for joining us, guys.
Space Cowboy, thank you.
He's also live, and he said he's in Enemy Watch, Falcon Bucs. Make sure to check it out.
That's right. Yes, he's got a stream too, guys. Check out his page. He's got a live stream with the game, doing a similar thing, discussing the game as it's going on. We're keeping an eye on it as well, so should be fun. Hopefully it stays close. That Tabby can somehow steal it at the end somehow.
Uncle Elroy says a win's a win. Let's keep the good things going and the good spirit. And then Wayne is LT Metters Jr. said Wayne is spot on. Zeke is the reason for the season. Yeah, #bars.
Exactly. That's a good gift we're getting. I will say that with everything that happened as far as the fumble by Derek Carr, the decision he made by not just going out of bounds. Or just trying to get out. He had to get out of bounds, but just getting out there and he already had the first down. He should have just went out. You would have guaranteed yourself still a tie. Again, guys, another thing I remember during the game we stated is we thought that Taco and DeMarcus Lawrence had a sack on Derek Carr in that third down and 3 play.
And instead they
missed him somehow. He got out of it, and we were like, "This is what happens when you miss sacks." And he was about to run it, and you said he's going to run it in. I mean, he literally was running it in, and Jeff Heath, number 38. I will say he saved our season on that specific play. It should have been saved by Anthony Brown. It should have been saved by multiple chances we had earlier in the game that we just did not capitalize on and get full points from, which again hurt us obviously toward to make this a close game, to make it a game we should have lost. So when you look at it like this, Jeff Heath was the man on the spot. He's the team leader in interceptions. Got to give him some credit right now for having definitely his best season he's ever had with the Cowboys, for sure, which is not saying much when you look at the stats. When you look at and you look at where he came from, I guess, how he's not that good of a player, but he's been in the right spot multiple times. So that means he's at least doing some kind of reads that are okay. He's had multiple blown plays the whole entire season. So it does not make up for all of that, but he's definitely improved as the season has progressed. Like Jalen Smith, like other guys, like Byron Jones has been pretty consistent there for the most part. If you don't see Byron Jones involved in many plays, that means they're not throwing to him. That means his guy's covered. That means that he's doing his job. And sometimes you'll see him as the last guy to make the tackle because he's the safety. So I think he had a great game yesterday. The defense did not play great on third down. Even though I think overall, I think the Cowboys did play well on defense. I really do, especially the way the offense played. We only scored 20 points. That's not good from our team. We usually average at least 4 more. The Raiders usually score 20. They got 17. So my point is that our defense did enough to easily win this game for the Cowboys, and we left points on the board again, like we did against the Giants, even like we did against the Redskins. So, and definitely against those 3 games we lost, we left a lot of points on the board.
It was a game of inches. Yeah, I mean, it really came down to, again, half a yard.
I mean, if his hand
half a yard, one play,
wasn't so small,
one thing.
he might have had out in the half-yard line. So Jason Witten was asked where that fourth quarter ranks in his 15-year career. This is a quote from Jason Witten, the GOAT. This game is an emotional game. I think back to the 2006 fumble field goal there in Seattle with Tony Romo, and 2014 last year. In 2014 with the catch with Dez, and then last year being with the way we got our hearts ripped out at the end there. But gosh, I don't know what game has come down to like that. To be on the receiving end of it, you just give unbelievable effort. You keep playing that way. We talk about the spirit of our football team. That sounds like Garrett. And good things happen to you. Good to get this one. Get out of here at 8-6. That's the most important thing in the end. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot to clean up, but I love our team. So that's a good thing.
And again, he's not wrong. There is a lot to clean up, guys, and we're definitely going to be talking about that in a little bit.
Yeah.
But
also, Sean Lee said that. Sean Lee. Here's a positive note on yesterday's game. Sean Lee is really good at tackling guys. So he said that he had an assessment on Marshawn Lynch and how it's like to try to tackle him. So here's what he said. Quote, Sean Lee. He said, he's maybe the hardest guy I've ever had to tackle, not only in his strength, but his speed, his elusiveness, but just how he brings it throughout an entire game. He never stops. And you can see Marshawn Lynch was a beast yesterday. He played hard. He was getting hit. Some collisions were going crazy. He would run over a lot of our guys.
Yeah, we saw a lot of our guys like really going after him. You saw him wrapping their arms, and they like bounced right off of him.
But I did see Sean Lee get run over once by him too. But Sean Lee then stopped him 2 or 3 times after that. So he was kind of like a little brick wall there. So now, as we turn on to the injury stuff, guys, let me first say something here. It was a good news as far as Tyron Smith was concerned today. He was not in crutches. He was not on crutches when he left yesterday. He was not any kind of wrap on his knee or his leg when he left the locker room. So that's a good sign as far as Tyron Smith. That was last night, this morning, when the coach spoke today. Coach Jason Garrett, he said that it didn't sound like it was going to be a bad thing for Hitchens. Anthony Hitchens. Anthony Hitchens last night said it looked good to go. Stephen Jones today said that referring to both these guys, meaning Tyron Smith and Anthony Hitchens, he said both of them have both of them have been looked at, and I think both of them are going to be day to day, week to week, and probably Hitch a little better chance to make it this week than Tyron Smith. Although Tyron has a chance, we'll just have to monitor him, but certainly not an ACL, so no ACL issue, which is good news for Tyron Smith, which is a relief. We'll kind of watch them as this week goes on here, and know that I think that Hitch has a pretty good chance of doing it, and Ty has a chance. So we'll see. So guys, that's good news as far as Tyron, as far as Anthony Hitchens. Sounds like he's able to make it. We don't obviously nothing's really going to be known until as we get later on into the week and as they practice to see where they are on that list. But right now, we have dodged a minor bullet. That thing to Hitchens could have been worse for sure. And
it's still not good, but definitely could have been worse. Yeah. Again, hopefully he recovers quickly. So does Tyron Smith, and we have them back as soon as possible.
Tyron Smith is a major key to our success, even with Zeke back there. We need Tyron Smith in there. So speaking of Zeke, Garrett said to him, basically he said what was told to Zeke by Jason Garrett. He said Jason Garrett told him to get back to work. Yeah. And Garrett says that Zeke looked good. Let me say that, just look good in his persona, in his,
Yeah, like he looked like he has his head on straight.
Exactly. There you go. You said it better than I could. Let me just see, because I have a couple other things, guys, before we continue. I wanted to jump back for a second about Jeff Heath, a key play before the play he made at the end, I think.
Of course, the game-saving play.
Yeah,
he actually made a game-saving play.
Yeah, second down, he made a great play to be able to react quick enough to knock the ball down in the end zone. I think it was
Crabtree.
Crabtree. You're right. It was Crabtree. And he got in there and beat Crabtree and knocked the ball down from a pass from Carr. And, boy, he was Johnny on the spot again. So, again, much credit. Yesterday, I think, was his best game as a safety. He's had his best game was maybe the San Francisco game when he was the kicker. But he's had other games that have, if you want to say his best game, okay, he had that interception because he was in the right place at the right time. But he made 8 other mistakes. This game last night, he did much better than he usually did. Hitchens was in that play. That's the play I think Hitchens got hurt. Yeah. And he had slipped, and that's where he got hurt and fell. And that was supposed to be Hitchens' cover. And that's where we kind of lost him on that play. The next play, we went from thinking the season's over on that play with Hitchens to now the season has been saved. It was crazy.
And then LT Metters, you want to know, why do the Cowboys seem to outperform? Why do Cowboys allow teams to outperform them in the second half?
We played down to their level almost.
We failed to make adjustments. That's
correct.
The number one reason is we fail to make adjustments. Teams make adjustments. We don't. They manage to compensate for some of the things that they're seeing, weaknesses on our side, and we allow them to exploit those weaknesses. So that's it. Oh, man, plain and simple. If you want to summarize it in one
that's a good summary.
One thing, that's
a great
my
summary.
Perception right there. So and then let me see. Heath, good backup, but not a good starter. But you know what? If this is what it takes.
We'll see where it goes. I agree. I mean, I agree for the most part. He is a good backup. For whatever
reason, he's producing some quality plays this year in this way now. Right. You know, instead of being out there all the time and constantly, consistently messing up and failing. Kind of like how Jalen Smith started performing better when we started using him a little less. Yeah. Of course, with Hitchens injured now, it's pretty likely that he's going to be out on the field quite a bit more.
But also consider this, that if Hitchens is going to play, that's going to be a good sign to keep Jalen Smith still with, maybe a couple extra snaps, but not going to be anything that he can't handle at this point. I think if he had to take a full workload, we're in trouble. And that goes for him or for any other guy, whether it's Durant, if he wasn't inactive. He's supposedly he's healthy now. He was just an inactive for this game. We'll see. Speaking of injuries, guys, David Irving, we have to remember him. He's a major part of our defensive puzzle. We need to have him in there because you can see there was some pressure. There were no sacks yesterday. Yeah. And I will say that Derek Carr, got confused for a second. They kind of played similarly sometimes. But Derek Carr was under a lot of pressure. But most of the game, but there were no sacks. So even though he was altered some, he had enough time.
Even though Taco actually managed to, almost sack him, and he still managed to get the ball out quick enough to make a completion. Yeah, which is insane.
So we need David Irving back, guys. And Jason Garrett did say that he's hopeful. I don't know how much to hang on this with Jason Garrett, the puppet man, but he's hopeful with this concussion that he's going to be back
this week
to return to action this week. And I don't know if he means practice. Oh. Touchdown Buccaneers, guys.
Woo! There we go, guys. It looks like it.
Guys.
Awesome.
It could be a tie game right now. It's right now 7-6. Atlanta Falcons, but let's get that tie 7-7, and we're back at 0-0, and you never know. Maybe the Buccaneers can pull out a surprise win at home.
This could be a game, and the way that the Falcons have been playing this season, this could be one of those games where they lose. You never know.
Yeah, you don't.
And then, let me see. Roy Babineau, thanks for joining us. No explosion from the Whiteouts. Need to upgrade receivers next season. So, yeah, and I saw a few of you guys mentioning as well.
We have a lot of rookies. We have 2 rookies this year.
That Dak just isn't getting separation from his receivers. Even though Dak is throwing somewhat well sometimes, or that he's hitting his receivers just aren't getting the separation that they need from those.
And one thing you saw with Beasley today is
Beasley, I have to say, was one of my most painful disappointments, guys. I love Beasley. I love the way he plays, but actually, I don't know if you have it or if I have it. Here we go. So I actually have an interesting stat for you guys on Cole Beasley's career since 2012. In 2012, he had 15 catches for 128 yards, no touchdowns. 2013, 39 catches, 368 yards, 2 touchdowns. In 2014, he had 37 catches for 420 yards and 4 touchdowns.
A lot more there.
A lot more. 2015, 52 catches. And 2016, 75 catches.
Wow.
And in those respective years, he had 536. And get this, last year, 833
That's the one.
yards.
833 yards.
In both those years, he had 5 touchdowns. This year, guys, he has 34 catches for 302 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Sounds like his second year.
So, yeah, it sounds like his second year. The numbers are pretty much, he's on par to finish this year with about 39 catches and 345 yards, and they're expecting him to get at least 1 more touchdown, so he's predicted to get 5. Again, touchdown-wise,
season for him,
his numbers are right there with, his best seasons. He's producing on that end, but when you look at how many catches he's getting and how many yards he's producing, it's gone down quite a bit. So.
And again, Rack City is not off with that comment there because Zeke is now back. Now get their receivers open.
And hopefully,
a little easier for sure. Now they're putting 8 in the box. Now we get a little separation. So,
and
DJ Crown J is in the house, and he makes his mark again tonight with a $2 donation. Thank you so much,
DJ
man.
Crown J for helping support the channel, guys.
He leads the leaderboard up top, guys.
Leading the pack.
Yeah, man.
So
thank you so much.
Alpha Wolf.
Yeah, guys, we're trying to keep up with this game. 7-7 right now. Tampa Bay just tied the game against Atlanta. This is a partial. If somehow we can get this win, guys, there's a chance we could have controlling our own destiny when we play Seattle Seahawks next week. There's a chance.
I mean, after that play, this crazy thing with Jeff Heath and Derek Carr. At this point, who knows, guys? The stars might align. So keep your eyes on the sky, but more importantly, keep your eyes on the screen and join us here.
So guys, listen. Also, here we go. So here's the updates on some of the other injuries, kind of announced later on in the day by Jason the Puppet Garrett. He said there was no update on David Irving officially with the concussion, and all was said by Garrett. Even though he said he was hopeful that they'll see him out there, they said they'll see as the week progresses on where he's going to be able to play or not this week. Jason Garrett also said there was no real update, official update on Tyron Smith's knee. All right. Again, we'll see how he goes as this week progresses. So it's still just a lot of like pause right now. It's like hit the pause button. Yeah. We don't really know yet until it gets closer to Wednesday. Garrett then said about Hitchens as well. We'll see. And basically all these three injuries here, David Irving, Anthony Hitchens, Tyron Smith. All these three are major guys we need in. I'd say Tyron Smith, number one. Byron Bell looked okay, but I would say give him all the reps this week to Byron Bell because we need to get him up and on this.
So, and you gotta
Cooper
say,
needs the help from him.
He did all right. He did all right. You know, again, he's never going to be Tyron Smith, but he did pretty well.
And that's what my big
Hopefully he continues to hold up until Tyron Smith can come back.
Well, Seattle has a good defensive front. I mean, their defense is broken down in the linebacker and their corners and safeties, but not on defensive front. They're pretty strong in there. Michael Bennett plays in there. We need that left side of our offensive line to be secure. That's his blind side. We have Cooper, which I'm not saying anything about it. He's really been playing great. Lights out compared to what we really expected. But only when he had Travis Frederick and Tyron Smith on both sides of him, that's what gave him the help. Right now, if you have Byron Bell struggling, he has to help him a little bit, which now it
kind of throws off the whole line because they all have to. I guess. I don't know what the technical or if it's real, but they kind of have to shift more to the left. They kind of have to help out more on this side. So, whoopsie. And then Pat Gonzalez said, "Sup, guys? Did y'all see the game-winning hit by Heath? I jumped out of my chair into my bed screaming." Yeah, So, yes, if you go back on yesterday's stream, you can see me sitting there in shock saying, "What?" She didn't know what was going on.
I called her immediately.
Like, I'm sitting, like, guys, we saw it, and as soon as we saw that Taco and Hitchens, they didn't get the sack, I'm just
it's over.
I was just like, all right, we're done, whatever. Cowboys, you suck. I'm so pissed at you. And then it happened, and I'm just like,
and I just
you were going crazy.
Well, it was like a snapshot to me. As soon as that ball hit the black in the end zone of the Raider touchdown, and I knew that all that showed me is that I knew it was not fumbled because it hit out of bounds. It could have been over the pylon. Maybe he threw it over. It's a different situation. But this way, like that proves to me that he was not out of bounds yet. The ball was not out of bounds yet. That means it hit in and bounced out. And again, the only thing I could have done is if it bounced in and hit the end zone and then bounced back in, that would have been a killer. But the fact that it bounced in there, it proves that was definitely not out of bounds when he fumbled it. And the replay confirmed it. I was going crazy. I just didn't want to go too crazy because I know all these things always somehow twist back around us.
And the biggest thing, of course, is that once I realized, I'm like, oh, okay. But then I saw the flag. I'm like, okay, great. Here's the flag. Because instantly, as soon as I saw the flag, I'm like, of course it's on the Cowboys, and then it's over, whatever. But
Hello, Newman.
Thankfully, guys, things actually went our way this time. So at Cowboys X Factor leaderboard is this one right up here above our heads. You can see it. And
DJ Crown J, man, you are doing awesome. Get ready.
Leo, enjoy today's game, and hello, Newman. Thanks for joining us. Go Bucs. That's right. Kingstar Vids.
Let me know what you want me to put down here for you next week if you end up being the winner, DJ Crown J. Cowboys Abroad is close behind you, but you're definitely pulling away with your little donations here and there, man. So much thank you. Remember, this ends Christmas Eve, this first week. All right, guys, and we're coming up with some things, trying to figure out maybe sending out a gift to the weekly winner. Small little token of our appreciation. So
that's right, guys. But definitely stay tuned, and we're gonna have a few other ways to kind of help support our channel and just kind of show love for the Cowboys family.
Didn't you have something fun you wanted to talk about?
No, don't.
See now, guys, now you guys are interested. No.
Kingstar Vid said, "I can't believe how our game ended. It was a good game. I honestly thought it was over for us, but thanks to Derek Carr dropped the ball. Yes." And then let me see that index card. Hey, we have the index card right here, guys. It's an authentic game-winning index card, high quality.
Right out of his pocket.
So make sure everyone needs their official index card for all your officiating needs.
Yes. Give this to your most loved and cherished Cowboy fan. I'm gonna use it as a stocking stuffer for little J and little G.
Yeah, guys. So, and we'll be updating these things as soon as we can. Let me see.
What things?
Cowboys X Factor, YouTube mobile. So yeah, Cowboys X Factor. If you do donate after the stream or through another method, we'll definitely make sure to update that for our next stream. As you guys know, we do post daily content, so we'll be updating it every single day. And Rack City, you said you donated $38. Thank you so much. Give me 1 second.
Oh, is that through Patreon? Maybe, I don't know.
I'm not sure. I can't see it. But as soon as we see it show up, Rack City, thank you so much. We're going to be putting that up there. And then, yes,
you definitely break it to the leaderboard with that.
Yeah, we have 1,058 subs, guys. Thank you so much. It's thanks to you guys that our channel is what it is. And I love index cards too, Cesar. They're my new favorite office.
We should get our own monogrammed index cards.
Yeah, guys. So we'll be sending out my Cowboys family index cards.
Sorry, Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph.
And his Eagles.
But you know what?
You guys are in. Don't worry.
Yeah, you'll be okay.
So listen. So let me go on a couple other things here. I think I talked about all three guys. No elaboration on our three injured main guys. Tyron Smith, #1 in my opinion.
Yeah.
In the sense of keeping Zeke and the offensive line and Dak rolling. I think once we get that going, I think our defense will improve tenfold. So, I think they already are pretty good, doing pretty good for what they have to play with and the way the offense has been playing. So I think with Zeke in there, I really don't want that to be the answer. I think our running game did fantastic. We were averaging over 5 yards yesterday, so it wasn't anything wrong with our running game. It's the play calling at times.
I was going to say, the one thing I will say that was wrong with our running game was the decision to not put in Rod Smith in certain situations. I think that was the only thing that, again, the Cowboys failed to account for the differences in their running backs and using them effectively. Because I think the play call was fine, but the play wasn't effective because they didn't use the right piece, the right player.
Exactly. Cesar, just so you make everyone clear, even though we're showing this and making a joke, we are joking. I don't mean to rub it in any Raider fans. We understand, but you guys understand something. There's a 99% chance. I'm 99% sure that if that was going to be called, let's say they used the same thing and flipped it and said, no, you're short. The Cowboys would have challenged that. That was 4th down. That was the game. Yeah. The game in the sense of, the Raiders had the last shot to really get a field goal and win the game. We didn't have a chance anymore. We gave up basically a field goal attempt for that play. A long field goal, probably wouldn't have done it with Dan Bailey, but so you got to go for it. But my point is that if you look at the replay, you look at it from overhead, you look at it from the side with the 40-yard hashes, you see Dak's arm and his body go in front over it. Even through the pile, you can see him still coming back down with it. And even when he was bringing it down, he still passed the 40. It was a first down. It was a bad spot. So I think the Cowboys would have won a challenge. Or a replay would have been relooked, whatever you want to call it. If it was, it wasn't under 2 minutes yet. So the Cowboys would have won the challenge. I'm 99% sure of it. And this whole thing with the card and the measuring, it would have been moot. It didn't matter because in the end it was a first down. Whether it would have to be replayed and do a challenge, or if it was called with the card or not. Like I said earlier today, the referee himself said that this was more of a prop, more for theatrics. He already made up his mind when he took the card out. He just wanted to he said he had to use his visual proof, meaning his eyes to the chalk of the 40-yard line. And he saw the ball
he just
was
wanted,
over by a hair.
Extra confirmation. But either way, guys, it was all just for show. So DJ Carnjay said Irving must have had a really bad concussion. That's my fear. Obviously, now that he's missed 2 weeks.
Reminds me of Rico.
The fact that they're hopeful he's coming back this week is the one thing that is the opposite. Because Rico, we just kind of didn't know. We were all waiting for news, and then there just never was news.
Well, for him, it was for injury reserve, short-term purposes.
Exactly. With David Irving, we know that he's going to be back. It's just a matter of when.
Yeah.
But again, hopefully he's all right. My biggest concern is just I never saw the hit, I guess. I didn't see. I remember
in the 4th quarter, he knocked Kirk Cousins to another stadium.
Do you think maybe that hit was so hard he hit himself on the ground?
I don't know. He was fine. He was walking around celebrating fine.
So
and he finished the game.
I mean, I don't know much about concussions, but could the effects of them show up maybe a little bit later?
I mean, I don't know.
Maybe he did have a concussion at some point. I don't know, guys. Either way, if it's serious enough that he missed 2 games, hopefully he's just back on track. It sounds like he might be active in practice this week, and we'll be keeping you updated.
I definitely want to. I do want to do a quickly talk about a couple of things that happened in yesterday's games. And I want to start off with the Steelers, Antonio Brown. And that situation, he hurt himself pretty badly, guys. He has a partially torn calf muscle. Just so you know, you guys probably knew that already. I just want to make sure we say it here for those that maybe missed that. Every week, the next, MVP of the season, something either they have a horrible game or something horrible happens to them, and it's a shame. The hope, though, is that he's okay for the postseason. So they're saying, especially if they can secure a bye, they are hopeful that he's going to be able to play in the playoffs with that muscle and everything. No surgery, no surgery needed. But the regular season is definitely 100% over for Antonio Brown. And then going back to sticking with that Packer with the not the Packer, but sticking with the Steelers game against the Patriots last night. I know a lot of people don't like to talk about it. I don't know where all the Pittsburgh fans were, and I don't know where you all stood on that whole Dez catch. But when we were up there screaming and yelling and crying about that play, I'm pretty sure most Steeler fans were laughing at us.
Exactly.
And now that it happens to you, just like the Zeke thing for those Eagle fans or Giant fans that are laughing at us for having Zeke out. They don't care if it's wrong. He still deserves, haha, he's out.
Yeah.
And when it happens to Odell Beckham and someone accuses him and he's innocent, and he loses 6 games, we're not going to laugh because we know how it feels.
Or
Carson Wentz or something stupid.
Alshon Jeffrey.
Yeah. Or Blunt or Giant or anybody. My point is that when one of these guys mess up or get it falsely, not even mess up, just put themselves in a wrong, bad place, bad time, get falsely accused, didn't do anything wrong, and get suspended by 4, 6, 8, 10 games of the league on false accusations. We're not going to laugh because we know how crappy that is. But don't forget these moments. You see, so then when the Pittsburgh thing happens, and all the Steeler fans are whining about they're cheating. Look, we don't like the Patriots at all.
We don't like it, but if those are the rules and that's what the refs are calling it, again.
It's been proven in multiple other games where it was much less of a question mark. It was much more of a question mark where you could see his bobbles, but he never hit the ground. They still called it incomplete, So
and at the end of the day, it's up to you and your team, much like us, the Cowboys. It shouldn't have come down to that last play by Heath. It's up to you guys, the Steelers, to not put yourself in a situation where it comes down to one play for you guys to win the game. Yeah. I know it comes down to that a lot in football, but and I say that for the Cowboys. That's what upset me the most about yesterday's win. I'm happy we won, but we shouldn't have won in the last 30 seconds of the game because of one play that we were half a yard away from blowing it.
Yeah, unfortunately, guys, a little bit of bad news. 14-7. Atlanta Falcons. They just fumbled the ball in the end zone, and a big old lineman recovered it. So they got lucky.
That's fun.
They got lucky. They're up by 7. Hurting. That hurts our playoff hopes.
Someone said Odell's going to be falsely accused by a man. So if you guys have seen that hot tub video from last year.
It's the worst. I can't even deal with that video. But guys, so I just want to say one last thing about, speaking of this kind of stuff, like harassment, racial or sexual. The owner for the Carolina Panthers, we have a couple Panther fans in here. Jerry Richardson, all right, and he's been always a kind of a cool owner. He's been there since they started. Mm-hmm. He wanted to bring a Super Bowl to North Carolina, Charlotte, and twice did not get it. They were there twice, and I think were not able to. Obviously, they lost to the Patriots once, and I'm trying to think who was the other Super Bowl. Anyways, here's the thing, guys. He was facing a growing investigation accusing him of sexual misconduct and using racist language at work. Carolina Panthers owner Jerry Richardson announced Sunday that he will sell the team after this season. So he's selling the Carolina Panthers.
And it's related to these allegations, it sounds
supposedly.
like?
So here it is. Richardson and his ownership group paid $206 million in 1993 for this expansion Carolina Panther team. Mm-hmm. Richardson's announcement comes after Sports Illustrated reported after a Sports Illustrated report on Sunday cited unnamed sources that says Richardson made sexually suggestive comments to women on at least one occasion, directed a racial slur at an African American Panthers scout. The report states that the settlements came with non-disclosure requirements forbidding the parties from discussing the details. And again, all these things, whether you think are major things or not, or just kind of things that need to be not tolerated or should be, chill out, snowflake kind of deal. Either way, no matter how you look at it, in the end, he's kind of admitting something by selling the team.
Yeah, look, and and not just that, but at the end of the day, if he did do something where they did sign some kind of settlement agreement, and there is a non-disclosure, no, I know that's what I'm trying to say. If there's 1 or 2 or 3 or however many people with these non-disclosure agreements that you guys came to some kind of settlement, and it wasn't because of employment, it wasn't like an employment non-disclosure, it was like a settlement non-disclosure agreement. It does make you wonder because, again, it's, why do you have so many people that you had these kind of, setups and situations with, So it's just
crazy.
Yeah,
it's crazy, guys.
Money talks.
So yeah, and
money allows you to get.
And the last thing I have to say about this whole thing now is 14-7. So we know we're still rooting on Tampa Bay. It's still a lot of time. It's 12 minutes and 56 seconds as they kick off here after that touchdown. It's 14-7 is the score. Atlanta. We need Tampa Bay to come back and win. But if not, guys, we still need New Orleans to beat the Falcons next week. That's the way I see it. I think that's the best road for us. I think Atlanta has a better chance losing the last week at home against Carolina than let's say the Saints have losing the last week at home against Tampa. So I say, go New Orleans next week. They're at home against Atlanta, and they need a revenge. So if they beat them, we want Atlanta to lose the last week. That would help us get into the playoffs if we win out. And Detroit has to lose at 1 o'clock either to, at the Bengals. Yeah, Cincinnati. So I know it's not positive, but you never know. Maybe it's snowing. I don't know. Let's hope. And there's a chance. And then the last week, the Detroit Lions get Green Bay. They get them at Detroit. So, it depends if Rodgers plays, if it even is a challenge. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens these last couple of weeks. We need Detroit to lose 1 game, and we need Atlanta to lose 2, or Carolina to lose 2, or New Orleans to lose 2.
Exactly.
Carolina, they play, I think they play Tampa. all these teams play Tampa. They play Tampa and they play Atlanta the last game of the season. So, and they already won against Green Bay. So obviously, that they only have 2 games left. They got to lose both. So. Yeah.
So, Tampa got a first down, and, hopefully they continue to work their way down the field.
I think Tampa's going to have a shot in this game, guys. I really do. I don't know if they're going to win. I did not pick them to win, but I do think that they have a chance if they stay close. Yeah. They have enough weapons in the receiving area of things. The Falcons are not the best defensive team in the world, so I think that Tampa Bay, if Winston does not do boneheaded passes and interceptions, I think we got a shot to do something in this game here with the Bucs.
Terrabelli, thank you for joining us. The Eagles do suck, and we do have to win out. That's one road. No matter what happens, our road to the playoff, the only thing we have to do 100% is win out. Right. And even without the playoff picture, I still say we have to win out because, again, we're playing for pride. We're playing for our team to show, that we can do this. Even if we didn't make the playoffs, that we're still a tough, elite team.
Oh, yeah, baby. Oh, yeah, baby. To the 50-yard line with Mike Evans. Great pass down the field. They're moving it.
Des is the elite. Thanks for joining us. Green Gamer, thanks for joining us as well. You said congrats on the 1K. Thank you so much for that. Again, it's because of you guys that we've gotten here. So, showing our support. Of course, special shout outs to some of you guys who've been here for so long. Really, helped out the channel. And, of course, our Super Chat leaderboard guys. For those who have contributed through Super Chat or Patreon for this week, guys, we have you guys right up here to just say, thank you guys for helping support the channel and, helping us grow.
Yeah, so and guys down here, all the guys down here, make sure you check out some of their pages, guys, some of their channels. Some of them are on here all the time, like Terrabelli, South of Heaven 88.
Yeah. Space Cowboy 17.
Yeah, Cowboy X Factor. You guys can put up some good stuff on your channels as well. Cowboy Nation, even just football, NFL Nation, guys. Keep doing your things. And all these names down here, some of them have sites, some don't. But we thank you guys for being a big help to our channel to get to our first 1,000 subscribers. Unfortunately, that was a penalty on Tampa Bay, so it looks like it hurt them. But now he just broke a... Wow. Nice. It was a penalty, so that play to the 50 didn't count, but they just ran to the 40.
Oh, there's a flag, though. And then Green Gamer, no, I just look. Your team is trash because you guys are the Eagles, but your team is playing well. I just don't see how you guys can go too much farther without Carson Wentz.
You guys are pretty good.
So, no disrespect to Nick Foles, but, it's just going to be really, really hard. So, yeah, Desicilli, we do know that you are carried. Thank you so much for joining us here tonight. Let me see.
I did want to go back. So a lot of questions that were earlier I wanted to touch on, but I have to find them on here. So let me come back and check for you guys.
And Carrie, Super Chat, if you look on the bottom right corner of your chat, there's kind of like a little S money sign thing, Super Chat. You can go through there and donate to support the channel. We're doing, some special stuff. We do have some special stuff planned out for all of you guys. Do have some stuff in the works, obviously with the holidays and other stuff, guys. It's been pretty crazy over here as well.
We got some of these.
So we're really excited to hopefully bring you guys, again, good content and, ways that we can show that we appreciate your support as well. So
first down.
That's right. Nick Foles is amazing. And no, Green Gamer, Nick Foles is really, really good.
He's good.
You can't.
But he's not great.
Let's be real. It's not. You're not going to get far in the playoffs because in the playoffs you're talking about a different level. And there's a reason he's a backup. If he was good enough to be a starter, he would have been one already. Let me see. Wentz is going to be RG3, one breakout year, and injury changed the mind. I really hope not.
Who is that?
Honestly, Carrie said that Wentz is going to be.
Yeah, I think people say that about Wentz and Dak, and I think that you never know. It could happen, but I don't think it will happen on both cases. I think both of these guys are going to lead the NFC East for pretty much the next 10 years or so, and lead their teams. Listen, they're going to have bad seasons, whether it's Wentz's rookie season, whether it's Dak's season where he's missing, a lot of the cohesiveness on the front line, on their offensive line, missing Zeke to take some of the pressure off. I mean, that's affects him no matter what. Even if it's a little bit, it's still throwing him off some. He's not looking like last year, even though his stats are better than last year.
Yeah.
Except for the interception part of things. Almost all his stats almost around overall are better than they were last year. And he's doing a lot more things to keep his team alive when Zeke was gone.
I agree.
It's not just the running game. It's also some of Dak.
Not just the fact that he had Zeke, but because it was his first year, he was also a little bit more shy, more conservative, less willing to take certain chances. So I think as he gets more confident, he's going to take more chances, and sometimes it'll pay off, sometimes it won't. Our receivers not playing too well kind of has something to do with some of those chances. DJ Crown J, shout out to everyone who was here when we only had 10 subs, and we're already talking about super chat.
I wish I could remember the people that were 10. It was so little. It was like family and friends when we were 10.
I know.
So shout out to family and friends.
But seriously, but you guys, thank you so much for whether you just joined us now recently or you have been with us the whole time. Thank you so much, guys.
And some of you guys have provided a lot of good information, content. Some of you guys have donated a lot of your time, your comments, or your cash. We appreciate it in any way you do it, and we thank you guys. Right now we got DJ Crown J. He's a daily donator, so thank you, man. We appreciate it right now. I'm not, that's just fantastic you're even able to do that. More than a thank you for that, and everything does help.
Yes. But
in
guys,
a lot of different ways.
Quick disclaimer: please do not donate if it is not your money.
Yes.
Gotta put. We do have to put that out there. So please make sure that you do have, for anyone who is under 18 or anything like that, please make sure you guys do have permission to donate. And if you guys, are donating, please make sure that you guys are using your own money. Is
that a big thing online?
Kids steal their parents' credit cards, and our kids would get beat for that. So
wait, you can't say that.
I'd like to say, guys.
Cowboys legend LL, what's up, man? And by the way, he reminds me, our fantasy, my Cowboys family fantasy football league. Gotta give much love to LL, who's on here. Cowboys legend, 27. Thank you for joining us, Jersey. That's where I'm from. Jersey, I was gonna say though that our My Cowboys family finals are pretty much set. Our team, out of 20 teams on this, from a lot of subscribers on this channel, out of all you guys, there's only 2 left, and it's us. And I really have to look them up. I think it's an Eagle fan. I think it's Sixers JT. I got to double check that. I'm gonna do it right now if there's a question.
No, go ahead. I'll go ahead and let me.
But I want to definitely give much props to everybody who made the playoffs. It's a tough season, a tough league with 20 teams out there, guys. So let me see who are the finalists. I know we are one of the finalists, and it was a tough climb to this championship game, guys. You guys know, if you guys play fantasy football, any of you guys know 12 teams is tough. 16 teams is really tough. I do a lot of leagues like that. 20 teams is almost impossible.
Crazy.
So.
And then Roger Frazier said, "Hi guys, I'm telling you, the Vikings are going to rep the NFC in the Super Bowl. That's the second time the Eagles have looked bad. Again, I wouldn't be mad if Minnesota made it all the way.
I agree.
To the Super Bowl.
I can see that happening.
I want them to win if they make it all the way to the Super Bowl at that point. Dallas Cowboy Forever Champion, thanks for joining us.
What's up?
And then Santa Claus, enjoy your vacation, man. Let me know what job you do that you get a month and a half. Let me see. He
has to deliver gifts and packages and stuff.
True, that's right. So Santa, I know you're on a time crunch.
I'm sorry. No, I'm sorry to interrupt, but no, Sixers of football, which I think is JT.
Yeah, Sixers JT.
Sixers JT. So Sixers JT was on this channel. He's a Philly fan. He goes up against my Cowboys family in the 20-team fantasy football league for my Cowboys family. So thanks to everybody who participated, including Cowboys legend, who's really one of the top teams, and Zero God Loading, who had one of the top teams as well. You guys have fallen to the wayside. Let the champions come through. Just talking trash, guys, but it's tough. So I give credit to anybody who even to make the playoffs. It was hard, guys, and all 8 teams were working hard to get there. So thank you all for participating in the league. We're going to do more of this next year. Maybe we'll have even 2 or 3 leagues. Maybe a donation league where we have funds at the end of the year. That if you donate, maybe we will.
Yeah, if you want to financially contribute, so
we can make a reward champion
for the end of it, and then of course just like an open free league for
everybody, all the subscribers,
fans to come and join us.
make 2 20-team leagues. That'd be crazy. Crazy. But that's next year, guys.
Or we're also thinking about maybe doing a picks league as well. But, we have, lots of other things planned. So if you did miss out for this year, definitely, check us out. We'll be back. We'll be bringing all this stuff back, and you guys can be the first ones to know. So make sure to hit like if you haven't already on the stream.
Santa Claus is working on making this channel better.
So hit subscribe. So Santa Claus, dear Santa, all I want is a pony, and
we are going for 6. So right now we have 5.
We're Cowboys, right? We need horses. So I need a pony.
We need one more for this shirt right here.
So yeah. All right, Cowboys almost got Wentz. So we did.
They were looking at him. They were looking at him. One of the guys I wanted to trade up for. I like staying where we're at, getting Zeke and Dak, than rather than just Wentz. I think Dak would be enough when we have both together and aligned.
It paid off a lot more. But wasn't it Garrett that convinced Jerry Jones that we needed to go after Dak, right?
Yes, Jason Garrett did had some use. Yes, he actually did push for Dak, which I think was a good, not Dak in the first round, but Dak in the 4th round when people were, not sure. He just a week before that, he just got pulled over for drunk driving. 6 months before that, he got in a fight and got a bottle broken over his head in a fight.
So his draft prospect actually dropped down a little bit because of that.
Yeah.
And the good thing is, though, that he took those things and he actually learned from them. And he's been open about talking about how, he was a dumb kid. He messed up. He shouldn't have put himself in that situation, but that he used that instead of using that as an excuse of falling deeper into that kind of thing and trying to, not take responsibility for his own actions. He did the opposite. He took responsibility. He worked hard. He took the opportunities he was given, and he made the most of them. And now he is the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys.
And he's looking good. I mean, again, he had 3 possible interceptions yesterday. 2 of them were actual interceptions. Yeah. I will say that. What was that? I know the one that he threw.
One was just straight up like, Dak, what were you doing?
Yeah,
he
overthrew
all
it.
You.
Right, and then another one was a double coverage. Was almost picked.
Yeah.
And then was the other one knocked up?
I think one of them was to Beasley, and I think the other one was another Dez shot. No, was it T. Will or Dez?
I don't remember. I think
it's one of those 2.
I thought one was Bobble.
Let me know, guys. No, I know. I think the one that Dak messed up on completely was a misread, and that was to Dez.
Yeah, that was the first. I think the
other one was Terrence Williams.
First down.
I know for sure one of them was Beasley. I know for sure the one that was almost intercepted, I know that was Beasley. Because I remember saying that, it was dangerous that he shot it there, and it wasn't the only time that Dak tried to hit him, like, in that corner, but Beasley dropped it twice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah,
what you gonna do?
Yeah,
all I want for Christmas is the Cowboys in the playoffs. So Santa Claus, I hope you're listening. Well, please deliver.
Here's the way, guys. If you want to follow your Christmas dreams, here's one way of thinking how we want to really we can set ourselves up for a fantastic, I guess, Christmas morning. I guess you can say, but Christmas Eve really is if this happens, guys. And then just follow me here for a moment. All right, there's only one way that can happen, and it involves tonight's game. And right now, it looks like, oh man, I hope they count him in inbounds. His hand hit, his fingertips is out of bounds, close, and that happened to Dez against the Giants a while back in the end zone.
1, 2.
No, his hand hit out. It's not a completion, man. The
Even though his other hand hit the floor first.
Yeah, but it has to get 2 feet in before the hand hits out.
Oh, so then he's gonna be out.
Jeez. That happened to Dez Bryant. I'll never forget it against the Giants. Right at the end of the game, like 12 seconds, and Romo threw it in the back of the end zone. Dez caught it. Had both feet almost in there, and when he was trying to balance himself with his other hand in the back of the end zone, he clipped the line with his ring finger, like with his fingernail.
Yeah, so
he clipped the line, and they reviewed it. They called a touchdown. We won the game. They reviewed it, and he was out of bounds. And we had another play we lost, incomplete. So,
not depressing.
But the way we can get into the playoffs, and it includes this game that we're watching right now. So if you're not watching ESPN somewhere in your house, if you're a Cowboy fan, you should be, because we want Tampa Bay to somehow get this win. And if they can pull the upset, and it would be a big upset, but if it could be done, listen, Dolphins beat New England last week, and I think that Tampa Bay has a chance to be a division rival at home, even if they're the Atlanta Falcons Super Bowl champions. They're not that great, and right now it's 14-7. They're saying it was a catch, so that's awesome news, guys. The catch for Tampa Bay. Now they're past midfield and driving. So under 8 minutes.
And of course, because the Falcons challenge, they lose a timeout as well. So with 8 minutes left in the second
quarter.
Under
8 minutes, guys, as we're ticking here. And let's hope that the home team Bucs can squeeze a win in there. If they can just stay close and win. If that happens, this is only, guys, is an asterisk here in this whole thing, is that if the Buccaneers win tonight, okay, aside from forget the Packers, we don't care about the Packers. If we win out, but let's not even get to that point. Before our game against the Seattle Seahawks, which is a late afternoon game next week, on Sunday. On Sunday at 1, all right? We have 2 very important games. Atlanta Falcons, if they lost this one, they go at New Orleans. If they lose that, and another away game for a team we need them to lose on the road, and that's Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions at Cincinnati Bengals. If the Bengals in that cold weather with their decent defense, and hopefully the crowd is loud there for their Marvin Lewis head coach, who's going to retire from them as a coach, is going to be still on their staff and as an executive, kind of like we were hoping for Jason Garrett. But he's going to kind of move away off the coaching thing. Let's play hard for him at home and get a victory over the Lions. If those 2 things happen at 1 p.m., we control our own destiny. We win our game against Seattle, and we win our game next week against Philly. We're in the playoffs. That would be on Christmas Eve, getting Zeke back, being able to get hopefully a bonus win here tonight with Tampa, and they're about to score. It's first and I think it's almost first and goal, 2nd and 1 on the 9. So they're driving, guys. If Tampa Bay can stay close and pull out a win, Atlanta loses at New Orleans, and Detroit loses at Cincinnati, we control our own destiny. Case closed. Yeah. Again, hopefully we'll see a lot of you guys back here Sunday at that situation happening on Christmas Eve. Boy, there'll be nothing better than that.
Yeah,
nothing.
Guys, we do know that our stream is a little bit behind as far as the game because we are watching it through ESPN.com while we are streaming here with you guys. So let me see. The Eagles always find a way to mess up, Cesar.
That's true. And also, Sirianni says that there's no way we're going to win in Philly. I disagree, especially if there's nothing to play for Philly. If Philly doesn't have anything to play anymore for, then I think that we will destroy you guys. With Zeke, with a healthy offensive, assuming we have a healthy offensive line and healthy, Sean Lee and David Irving in there. We have to have a full squad in there, even with your starting quarterback, even with your starters in there. I mean, starting quarterback. I mean, Wentz. I mean,
and it looks like
Nick
the Bucs
Foles.
Just messed up because the Bucs suck, according to DJ Crown J and Rack City.
2nd and 1. You tell me they didn't get it. We just got a lost stream here for a second. They probably had to go
for a field goal.
Well,
all right, guys. Well, we'll be catching up with that, but we've been streaming here for over an hour. Yeah. Let's go ahead and do some quick shout-outs to everyone who's here tonight. Yeah,
first and foremost, though, guys, above us, DJ Crown J, Cowboys Abroad, Billy Starducci, Space Cowboy 17, and, of course, Cowboys X Factor. You guys are top leaders of the week for the Super Chat. Right down there at the bottom corner of your chat screen, there's a little $sign there. You can hit that to donate and be in the running in the top 5 right here. We try to give out a little prize. It might be delayed, but we're definitely giving it out. And also, we're going to have your name down here, whatever you want us to post here relating to you or your channel, your business, whatever it is, for a week. This first week, we're just shouting out all these people below us because they helped us for the 1,000 subscribers through the whole path, this whole adventure. And you guys have been big parts of this channel, so we thank you guys. Check out their channels as well. But super chat time, guys. Throughout the week, we're going to keep a tally. Right now, that is the breakdown right now above. We don't release what people have donated if they don't want us to release that information. Some people can go through Patreon. Some people go through here. Either way, guys, we appreciate every single penny and every single comment you guys put on here, every single like that you guys do, every single subscriber. So thank you all for helping us grow this channel, flourish. And us just helping us bring the information along with you guys in a healthy discussion back and forth. So thank you guys. Family friendly. We try to keep it that way, even though sometimes a couple curses sometimes slip out here and there. It happens.
So we try to keep it as family friendly as possible.
And guys, family because we have our family here with you guys, and you guys are part of it, especially for football Sundays. And it's going to become a thing where it's not just football; it's going to be more. So keep that in mind, guys. And thank you for coming along the ride.
All about family.
Yeah.
So. All right, guys. Well, with Little G here, guys, and we are going to go ahead and say goodbye. So, Little G, say bye. All right. Thanks, Little G. So, guys, let's go ahead and go through our quick shout-outs here, guys.
Yes.
So, Santa Claus, Joseph Sirianni, 60 Trippy God,
Santa Claus, who is SCNL, who's down there, just letting you know. Go ahead.
Rack City, DJ Crown J, Green Gamer, Cowboys Legend 27, LL, Jonathan Cook, Joseph Sirianni, Desus Elite, Dallas Cowboy Forever Champion, Jonathan Cook, Roger Frazier, Andrew DeCall. Thank you so much for joining us.
There's a lot of people for that.
Terrabelli, hello Newman.
Terrabelli. A lot of representation here of Giants,
Here we go. Yep,
Eagles.
That's as far back as I can go. So, guys, we have
Carolina,
all sorts of different
Patriots.
teams and fans in here. So, thank you guys for joining us here, for being part of our Cowboys family.
Yes. And if you're not a Cowboy fan, as long as you're a true fan to your team, much respect. You can be part of the family too. So that's all right. Right now we're playing an Eagle fan as part of the Cowboy family. So for the championship in our fantasy football league, 20-team league. So we'll definitely see what happens at the end of this weekend when it comes to that. But yes, guys, Cesar Duarte, thank you so much. Santa Claus, I think it's the
SCNO Network.
Yes, the Carolina fan, and all you guys, Rack City, DJ Crown J, Cowboys Abroad, everybody who has, Space Cowboy 17, Cowboys X Factor, all you guys who have donated, all you guys have put information here, all you guys that have helped us throughout the 5 months,
all of it.
Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Much love. Much love.
And hey, never forget.
Never ever forget. A special one for all you guys, but for everybody here in my Cowboys family, an extra special one. Go Cowboys!
We'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, guys, stay safe. Have a great night.
Good night.
Go Cowboys.